All right, so for the last part of this, we're gonna go ahead and close this up. Again, if you're doing something that's a pointed toe here, I think that you're going to want to trim some of this here. This is a lot of material. It's going to make it very hard for you to last. So I'm going to go ahead and trim some of that. And you can kind of pull it over and see, but it's very easy to clear in that area, so I wouldn't really be worrying about coming up short there. Okay. Right here, and I'm going to go ahead and trim here just a little bit too. Got a lot of extra leather here. All right, so now that that's kind of trimmed up and ready for lasting, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and start here in the front, kind of gathering this in. If you do have a pincer that's sharper, like mine, it is much easier to deal with the point of a heel than if you have a round one, but you can do it with either. Okay, and then I'm just going to last and close my sides. Checking my work here on the top, make sure it's the way that I want it to be. And closing this up. Right. And then here I always find I have to revisit the toe here because I still end up with quite a lot of material, but now I know exactly how much I'm going to have. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this down even more. So I leave about 4 millimeters of material at the toe that I can then glue down and cover that area. So just so it's strong, I'm going to put some fresh glue in there. So this would be your Rhenea if you have it, or Masters. If you've only got rubber cement, then you can use that. But generally you want something that's stronger here. Make sure that this stays closed. Put a little heat so I can speed it up. Okay, and while that is drying, I'm just going to come in and clean this area up like we did several times before. Get a nice line here. And a nice line here. And now with the point, I'm going to go ahead and close the point here. And you just have to be really careful to pull everything underneath at the point of the pump. Hammer it down. Pull it all underneath so that you get a nice smooth point from here. And if you need to do a little hammering on the sides, you don't want to hammer too hard and break through. And then after that, you would sand all of this down if you were going to move to the next step and put a sole. But for the project, this is what we have to do. You need a full pair like this, lasted at least onto a board. Shank and all of that is optional. So you should have one full pair like this for next week's turn-in date.